Coming up, Margaret Spelling says she's leaving, but does the Board of Governors already know who will take her place?
A man kills 11 members of a synagogue in Pittsburgh. We have the local reaction.
It's Halloween, and you know what that means. In just a few short hours, Franklin Street will be packed. Coming up, we'll tell you everything you need to know to stay safe.
From the UNC School of Media and Journalism, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Good afternoon and welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Peyton Walker.
And I'm Emily Wakeman. Big news for the UNC system. Let's get right to our top story. UNC system President Margaret Spellings is stepping down, and the Board of Governors may have found her replacement. Several sources are saying UNC Healthcare CEO Dr. William Roper will be named interim UNC system president. The Board of Governors has scheduled an emergency meeting for Thursday at 11:30. Roper has been a previous candidate for the UNC president position. UNC system president Margaret Spellings' resignation announcement came as a surprise to many. Spellings made her decision public on Friday. She's been on the job for 2 years and will be cutting her 5-year contract short. Spellings didn't give much explanation, only saying she felt it was the right time to leave. She says she plans to return home to Texas. UNC Board of Governors approved a $500,000 separation package for Spellings. Her annual salary has been $775,000 a year.
It's being called the deadliest attack on the Jewish community in U.S. history. Authorities say Robert Bowers opened fire on the congregation of the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh Saturday, killing 11 people. The 46-year-old had a history of posting anti-Semitic rants online. UNC Chancellor Carol Folt released a statement expressing her condolences. Jewish students say they're shaken by the news.
My grandfather, who I was very close with, who was very religious, passed away in March. And as much as I would do anything to have him back, I'm very happy he was not alive to see this, because he got to die thinking that the anti-Semitism he faced as a child growing up was something that I was never going to have to worry about.
UNC Hillel will be holding a vigil tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the pit.
A fight between two students at a Charlotte high school took a deadly turn. It happened in the hallway outside the cafeteria at Butler High School in Matthews. A 16-year-old freshman killed a 16-year-old sophomore. The freshman student is being charged with first-degree murder. The school superintendent says the incident began with bullying that got out of control.
The UNC grad who poured blood and paint over the Silent Sam statue walked out of her honor court hearing on Thursday. Maya Little says she walked out in protest of Honor Court member Frank Prey being allowed to stay on the case. Little accused Prey of not being impartial because of pro-Silent Sam statements he made to the media.
Frank Prey has been a vocal and active supporter of Confederate monuments. Frank Prey publicly harassed and insulted one of my witnesses, UNC professor Dr. Ulfa Cravey, calling her a disgrace and anti-racist activist petulant children, in a reply to a post Dr. Cravey made on Twitter.
The court sentenced Little to 18 hours of community service, which needs to be completed within 3 months.
With Election Day only a little over a week away, North Carolina lawmakers are doing their part to be sure students understand what's on the ballot. Attorney General Josh Stein moderated a panel on Monday night which broke down the 6 amendments proposed on the ballot. Law experts from across the state also took questions and discussed the outcome if the amendments pass. Organizers say this is the first step towards trying to have a productive political conversation.
And we think by being able to bring together informed and knowledgeable people to have these important conversations, we can start to break down some of these polarized and partisan boundaries.
Students only have a few more opportunities to vote on these amendments, with early voting ending Saturday and the Election Day next Tuesday. It's one of the biggest events of the year at Carolina.
That's right. We're talking about Homegrown Halloween. It's a celebration that brings big crowds to Franklin Street. We've got 2 reporters covering this story, but first we're going to go to reporter Madison Forsey to tell us about the big job that the town faces putting this event on. Madison.
Right now, Franklin Street is pretty quiet, but in just a few short hours, it'll be flooded with people. And CHPD wants you to be prepared.
Anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 people are expected at this year's Homegrown Halloween, and with crowds comes some serious safety concerns.
Alcohol overdoses is the #1 safety concern we have each and every year. We have people who come and either come intoxicated or come ready to become intoxicated and do so downtown.
Police officers are stationed at entry points to Franklin Street to watch out for the well-being of individuals and keep prohibited items like fake weapons, masks, and alcohol from making their way down Franklin. CHPD also works hand in hand with businesses who benefit from staying open on Halloween.
The types of things that we're communicating with businesses is making sure that they have enough staff on hand to manage the public safety aspect of the night because their businesses are so crowded.
Businesses are also told not to use glass and to bring outside furniture inside. To manage the crowds, it takes around 200 CHPD officers, firefighters, and many, many more.
And if you still have questions about what you can and cannot bring on Franklin Street or which roads are going to be closed tonight, CHPD invites you to visit their website. On Franklin Street, Madison Forsey, Carolina Week.
Will the crowds be as big as last year? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But what we do know is that Halloween has been the buzzword on campus for days. Reporter Natalie Harden is also on Franklin Street to tell us about how some students have been prepping for the big night.
As you guys already know, it is Halloween time here in Chapel Hill. It's a holiday that I'm super excited about, so I went out and found all the fun things you can do here in Chapel Hill. It's Halloween time here at the Hill, and there's tons to do. There's games for the kids, spinning for all the candy. It's not all about the kids though. There's even dancing for the adults, and some fairly cute Halloween costume contests. We can't forget about that fall classic, pumpkin pie. But when it turns nighttime in Chapel Hill, there's no more time for trick-or-treating. The students come out to play.
And it's so cool to see people my age and people older even being involved in Halloween. I feel like in a normal town, it would not be that big of a deal. Adults our age would not be so involved with it. So it's really cool to be in Chapel Hill during this time of year.
And Franklin Street will be full of smiles all night, packing bars like he's not. Blue and pink cups in hand, cheering the night away from Chapel Hill's famous Halloween celebration.
You want some people on camera?
And I cannot wait to see all the costumes out here on Franklin Street tonight. That's all I got for you guys. Reporting from Franklin Street, I'm Natalie Harden, Carolina Week.
Thanks, Natalie. Everyone is so excited to celebrate Halloween on Franklin tonight, but what kind of weather can we expect? Reporter Tess Basuli takes us outside to give us the latest.
I'm on the quad. It is beautiful outside. The sun is shining. The weather is beautiful to celebrate Halloween tonight. So the current temperature is pretty warm. It's 69 degrees and it's looking to stay that way for the rest of the night. So for the rest of the week, pretty ideal weather. Temperatures in the low 70s, upper 60s. Possible thunderstorms on Friday, but other than that, looks great. If you're heading out to Franklin Street tonight, enjoy the weather and stay safe.
All right, Tess, thanks for that report. Looks like we're going to have some great weather this weekend. And now we have Emily Coker in studio to tell us what fun festivities are going to be going on. Emily?
So even though Halloween ends today, there is still plenty to do in the Triangle area this weekend. First up, the Salt and Smoke Festival. It's a food festival that celebrates traditional Southern barbecue and travels all over the U.S. and Canada. It's coming to town this Saturday at 3 p.m. It will be at the Rock Quarry Farm. Visit saltandsmokefest.com to purchase your tickets. Next, we've got the North Carolina Latin American Film Festival, which is actually hosted by UNC and Duke. It runs till November 8th. It is free and will be located at the John Hope Franklin Center in Durham. Then finally, musical legend Bob Dylan is here this weekend.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
His show is this Saturday at 8. He's performing at the Durham Performing Arts Center, so visit durhamtheater.com for your tickets. Be sure to check out any of these events happening off the hill. Back to you guys.
Chapel Hill's Town Council voted last week to create a task force to convert the Varsity Theater into a public performing arts space, but the owners of the theater are pushing back. The task force is part of Chapel Hill's initiative to create a community-owned performance facility in town. Varsity owner Paul Sheshareshan is saying the theater is already provides to the community and took to Facebook to explain his stance. Shareshan says the theater and its building are not for sale and announced he would be serving on the task force. He says he hopes the town will consider all of East Franklin Street for other areas to create an additional performance space.
The undergraduate library is normally a quiet place for students to study, but this week it's celebrating a big birthday. The undergraduate library turns 50 this week. As part of the celebration, students gave their reasons for loving the UL. It opened its doors in 1968 to give UNC undergrads a place that closely fits their needs, staying open 24 hours a day.
Some furry friends celebrated Halloween in the pit today.
That's right, and they were giving out kisses instead of candy. Students lined up for the Halloween puppy kissing booth dressed for the festivities. The puppies were in hot dog and pumpkin costumes. Carolina Helping Paws hosted the event. That's so cute. I love all those.
I think they have cuter costumes than me.
I would second that. I would agree to that. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks so much for watching.
Good night.